Oh, yes, hi, and welcome to the Dark Knight Conspiracies, episode 54 The Shot Heard Round the World. Well, we've had an interesting week. A lot of news. Let's start and get into it. Trump had his press conference on Wednesday announcing class action lawsuits against the big tech companies. Now, for most people, they probably think, doesn't mean anything. Like myself, this will get tied up in the courts for years. But is this more about the point than the lawsuit? My assertion is this was Trump coming out and saying enough's enough. We're going on the offensive. He essentially signaled, we're coming after you. And we'll see how this plays out, but a lot of interesting tidbits. If you haven't seen this press conference, go back and watch it. A lot of interesting tidbits were brought out. Specifically, the one lawyer who's happens to be Greta Van Sustren's husband is the famous lawyer that took on the tobacco companies and won. Little interesting tidbit there. Now, with that being said, optics are everything, as I say. Why was this significant? Well, maybe, and I'll leave all the links to all this stuff in the description box. Maybe this was significant because he knew ahead of time of this annual conference that goes on every year with anybody who's anybody, big tech and corporate America, that met up in Idaho. A lot of interesting names on here. Like I said, anybody who's everybody in the media, corporations, you could scroll through. They all took private jets in here. A lot of interesting names. A lot of interesting people. Bob Kraft, friend of Trump. The premise was they were discussing climate change. Boy, would I have liked to have been a fly on the wall in that meeting. Because I can guarantee you that's not what they were talking about. They were talking about what Trump did on Wednesday. And planning the attack, which is going to be a media blackout, in my opinion. We got false flags coming. Multiple, in my opinion. But we'll see how it all plays out, right? So the next interesting article, many people probably don't remember the whole Seth Rich thing. Back in the day, as I would call it. You know, early on in the Trump administration. He was a Bernie Sanders supporter, and, you know, he ended up dying. And for years, the FBI said they had no documents. Nobody knew anything. Well, now all of a sudden, the FBI has documents. And if you read through this article, they show you some of the documents, and some interesting names are in here. Robert Mueller knew the assassinator. Hillary Clinton suggested in these documents. Why was he so important? Well, most of us that are woke in this community, he was the DNC leak. You know, the DNC computers were hacked by Russia. This was the whole start of the Russia campaign. And they said it was a robbery, yet nothing was taken from them at 4 in the morning. I think maybe something was taken from them. We'll have to see how this plays out. These people are panicking. Other people are panicking. A lot of people are, what difference does it make? I'm done. We're starting to see a lot. I thought I had this article on here. I don't think I did. Anyways, I'll go into... We also saw the Haitian president was assassinated. You can look it up. Sorry, I don't have the article to reference. Why was this a big deal? Well, everything goes back to Haiti. Everything goes back to... This is all tied together. And they're saying he was releasing information on what was going on there. And coincidentally refused the jabs in his country. So, from where I'm sitting, this looks like a deep state hit. His wife was flown to Florida. My guess is the White Hats did that. So we'll have to see if anything, and now they're saying 2 of the assassinators were Americans, and we'll have to see how it all plays out. The whole focus of all this is all distraction, valuable, but distraction in my opinion, and the distraction is what's going on in Arizona. Stay focused on the target. Now everybody claims this is the most secure, best election we've ever had. Well, now we're starting to see this Soros-backed AG in Michigan, on behest of the Republican Senate, is going to use the state police to start going after people for their claims of election fraud in Michigan that are false. Well, you know, the one thing nice about lawsuits, I know people don't want to hear this anymore. Our systems are corrupt. But you get into lawsuits, you get into arresting people, there's a nice little word that's called discovery that comes into play. So Matt DePerno, who's doing a fantastic job for that state, hats off to him. I don't know what the rest of the people in Michigan are waiting for. Democrat-run state, so I guess I just answered my own question. But link to the video, you can watch and hear what he has to say, and this guy's got hard evidence, but yet nobody wants to see it, including the Congress in Michigan. Again, Republican-led Congress came out with a report saying, nothing to see here. So Nessel is using this as cover to investigate and prosecute these people. The whole state needs to be blown up. Theoretically. Vote them out is what I'm saying. I don't know if we have that long, but people have got to start getting active in their states. Now, on an interesting side note for all you Nacera Jacera people, a lot of reports are coming out saying it went live, it's active. Some people are getting debt forgiveness. I don't know. I don't know anybody. But here's an interesting article, and part of, if you believe in the whole Nacera Jacera thing, part of the premises is there's no more credit. You can't borrow money. There's no more loans. Banks will not be able to charge interest, which is how they make their money. This article came out this week. Wells Fargo tells customers it's stopping all personal lines of credit. Interesting sign. My opinion. We'll see how it plays out. And then I came across this, and I thought this was interesting. This Firenado. If you watch and look at this video here, you know what this reminds me of? Moses in the Ten Commandments when he called upon God to stop Pharaoh's army. I've never heard of a Firenado before until I saw this article. I'm probably wrong. And then lastly, I'll share a video. Everybody who watches my channel knows I bring the Lord into it. And like many other millions of people, I got hooked on the Chosen series. Fascinating series, great work. Tells a different perspective on the life and teachings of Jesus. Well, a lot of people have gotten off the 17 bandwagon and said it's all garbage and everything. I'll still go back to it's real. It was a psyop. It's looking like it was for we the people. And fulfilled its purpose. You're not going to see any more posts anymore. It's over and done with. The objective was complete, but a lot of people still think it's garbage. If it was such garbage, why is MSM attacking it so much and the people that subscribe to it? Because last I checked, a lot of these people are sitting in jail for what happened on January 6th. So, if it's all garbage and BS, so be it. I don't think so, and I still stand on my convictions. it couldn't have been done without knowledge of the future, which means there's stuff out there that we don't know about, that we don't have access to. But I'll bet certain institutions do. So now it appears the 17 board infiltrated the Chosen. So I'm going to play a short clip. Oop. Hold on. Gotta bring it over to my screen here. Oh, having some difficulty here. Give me a second here, folks, to figure this out. Doesn't show up here. I apologize for this. There we go. Sorry about this, folks. Oops, wrong one.
Something just happened. No. Everyone speaks in riddles. I can understand esoteric ideas. They're not beyond me.
Of course not. You'll probably pick it up faster than the rest of us. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to sound like an oracle here. It's a force of habit. Spend all your time with a road preacher in the wilderness and you get to be a little obtuse. They're simple ideas for complicated people.
I just... In your obtuse language... Here's the circle. It represents everything in the world and all the people that...
So, if you paid attention to what he did, he drew a 17th letter of the alphabet. Into the dirt. And the conversation they were having was exactly what explains the whole 17 community. So I just thought I'd leave you with that thought. I don't know what the future's going to hold. I'll go back to a line my uncle used in a situation back in '68 with a standoff, as he was a law enforcement official, with a standoff with the Black Panther Party. And him and the leader came to the center of the group, and his comment was, well, some of my people are going to get hurt and some of your people are going to get hurt, but I'm going to win. And he did win. And I think this is where we're at. This is good versus evil, God versus Satan, and God always wins. Bless all of yous, and until next time, stay strong, stay safe, stay vigilant, do not fear, for it leads down the wrong path. and be prepared. God bless everybody. Thank you and good night.